I just did my makeup and now I'm trying to fix my hair. This is a battle that I have to do every morning, trying to figure out how to settle this head of hair. So today it's my first day of class at TAFTC and I'm quite excited. It's only 2 days, but it's 2 full days, and the second day is supposed to be assessment, a little bit of class plus assessment. So I think it'll be quite intense just because they are cramming everything that they are teaching in just 2 days. So my bags are getting quite long, so I have to snip them away. I had been cutting my own hair since I was like 13 or 14. I realized very early on that haircuts are expensive, and that was also around the time where like I just started to pay for my own stuff. So I decided, why pay? I have scissors at home. I can try to figure it out. Okay, it looks kind of funky now because I put the roller in and I put it for quite long. But once I leave the house, it will kind of settle and go down. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just hair. I've made so many mistakes in my life with my hair and they just grow out. So, it's not that serious. You just do whatever you want and it's fixable. Okay, so I'm ready. I'm gonna go and I'll probably take you through the day. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's okay. It will settle itself. You'll see.
But anyway, I didn't really talk about what I was actually doing. So I was out with a friend of mine. Well, 2 friends. But one of them was talking about using her skillsfuture credit. And I thought, why have I never considered actually using it? Because it's essentially free money. I don't know why I never considered it, but I thought, okay, I might as well use this opportunity to go for something that I really like. And I'd been itching to go for a sewing class. I'd never been to one before, so I signed up for what seemed to be a really useful skill, basic alteration, hoping that I can eventually progress to intermediate. So then I signed up for a 2-day intensive workshop at TAFTC, and eventually we got the learning materials, which includes a textbook on a platform called Kites and the program portal where you can submit your assignments and assessments. To give you a little bit of context as to why I'm doing this, let's go forward to when I am hurting my back, cutting up my pants on the floor for this assignment. Now, this is my relationship with sewing. I love sewing, but I feel like skill-wise, I'm stuck. I can do basic things, but I haven't really learned anything new or I haven't pushed myself in a while. And sometimes when I'm sewing, I feel like I'm not precise. Like I'm just winging it, you know? But I do want to be able to make things with precision so that I can make things for like other people too, and not just for myself. Right now I'm content making things for myself because I'm not too hung up on the quality. But if I could increase my quality and make it look even semi-professional, then I could start making things for other people. And I could start helping other people with their alterations or with any tailoring that's needed. Okay, maybe I won't go so far as tailoring because I love sewing. I really do. And I find that buying or finding clothes that actually fit well, it's like a sport. It's an Olympic sport. It's so difficult. I think it's a mix of like, I'm very picky, but at the same time, I mean, it's a good thing. I know what I want. But that also means that at the same time, I'm not happy with a lot of the clothes that I have and how it fits. So I would want to feel really comfortable and confident. So that's kind of the objective. And now we're in the first day of class. Basically, we spent some time going through some basics like what should be in a sewing kit, the necessary tools, stuff like that. We even went through some basics of the machine like how to actually use it, how to thread the machine and how to load up a bobbin and etc. What we went through in class can basically be summarized by knowing the basics of the machine, followed by how to take markings and measurements for alterations, how to pin and going through all the different settings and the presser feet and needles to ensure best fit for the material that you're working on. Side note, they call it presser foot because they usually use one, so I'm assuming that if I'm talking about all the presser foot, it would be presser feet, right? I don't know. Anyway. We also went through a bunch of different hems, both with the machine and hand sewn, and that was very exciting for me. I must say that although I find the precision of machine sewing to be very satisfying, there is something so natural and so calming about hand sewing. By lunchtime, I already had some thoughts about the program so far, even though it had only been about 3 to 4 hours. So here's lunchtime me telling you all about it.
Hello.
So we had a lunch break and I ate quite fast so that I could come back and toy around with some of the new things that I've learned today. There's no one else in class right now. I mean, so far it's pretty manageable. There are some parts that I already know, so I just kind of have to wade through it. But it is like a basic class. I'm just waiting for the more practical part because I cannot sit still. I have to move and try, which is also why I came a little bit earlier. It also helps that we're using brother machines here, and my machine at home is also a brother machine, so it's very similar, even though this one is a little bit fancier because it's got a screen. So that's pretty nice. Something kind of weird happened like before lunch break where the teacher was showing double roll hem, and he made a mistake, but he didn't tell the people in the class it was a mistake. So I knew it was a mistake because I'm familiar with the hem because it's the hem that I always use, but just misled and confused the other students, and I didn't know how to say. People are coming back, so bye. By the end of the day, we were told about the assessment that we had to get started on, which was to alter a woven garment. In my case, I chose a pair of trousers. I got these pants in Seoul at the start of the year and it fit really well on top, but it was definitely on the longer side, which meant that I had to wear heels with it, or I could come to terms with the bottom of my pants touching the floor. And I thought I was fine with that, but turns out after some walking on a rainy day, it convinced me that was so gross that I could never do it again. So I decided I'm gonna shorten the pants just a little bit, just enough so that it wouldn't be touching the floor, and I could still wear heels with it and not have it look weird. I didn't expect that we would have homework, and it's homework that takes time. So class today was 9 to 5, so that already felt like it was a really long day. But then now I find out that the assessment isn't I knew it wasn't going to be a test, but I didn't expect that I would have to do so much preparation work before tomorrow's class. I was told that there would be time given in class tomorrow to finish the assignments, but it's so hard to predict how much time you get, because what if you don't get enough time? I mean, the general feeling that I have is that I feel like everything that we covered and everything that I learned could have been done in half of the day. And so I'm just scared that tomorrow will be another day of feeling like time is being wasted. It's not really the teacher's fault. It's a pretty basic class, and I should have known that I'm not as beginner as I thought I was, and so I just ended up waiting a lot. At least I got to help other classmates and stuff, but at the same time, it's getting very restless, and I tend to want to move quite fast. I realize now this makes me sound like an asshole. So what I'm doing is I'm altering the length of my pants. I'm just bringing it up, I think 2 centimeters. Actually it's just one fold, but I have to unpick the hem so I can cut this and then do a mock overlock. Actually, I'm quite tempted to just finish everything now, but then now I'm thinking, then what am I going to do tomorrow when I'm in class? So I could just finish the assignment thing now, and then tomorrow in class I can just play around with the machine. But I have a feeling whatever I can do on that machine, I also can do on my machine. They're both brother machines, but they're different models. Let's find out what's in this bag that came with the machine. I don't know what this does. Wait, this might be an oval. You know, I should really look through the manual. L. There is no L. Oh, blind stitch foot. I was right. Blind stitch foot, but I think I said blind hem foot. Okay, so the thing is,
I don't have any overcast foot. So I think I could just use this foot, which is the zigzag one, and it will work perfectly fine. That's my theory. So I could actually do the pants. What I don't have is I don't have an iron. I have a hair color though. Time to cut. One of my biggest fears whenever I'm cutting anything that goes around like a skirt hem or pants is that I'm cutting 2 layers at once. Okay, we've got the cut. What we'll do is we'll do the mock overlock stitch, and then we're gonna fold it in and do a straight stitch. I'm super lazy to like clear my table to sew this, so I'm just gonna do it on the floor and like cut my back. That's not too bad. Sick. Success! Good job! Okay, so the next thing I'm supposed to do is I should fold this in now that I have made the mock overlock. But I think I'm gonna flip the pants, then I will stitch it with a straight stitch. Fold it inwards. Ideally, I should press it down. The truth is that I'm stubborn. I like to think of myself as painfully self-sufficient. And if it means that I'm going to use a curling iron for hair to press down my hem, I will. Oh my god, it's burning. But it's working. Ow. Oh, my back. Yeah? Yes! That worked out. Oh my god. So, I tried on the pants. It's no longer touching the floor, which I'm very happy about. So, I call that a success.
Once I was done with the pens, I treated myself to a glass of Coke. And yes, in a wine glass, because I can. After starting day 2 with some coffee and a sandwich, I immediately got to work. While everyone was working on their woven alteration, I started work on my second assignment, this time on a knit fabric. It took me a while to decide what to alter, but I eventually settled on this really old camisole that I have. I could immediately tell that this fabric was going to be really hard. This is the kind of project that will humble me, so I decided to alter 2 different things, in case I needed a backup. I would shorten the camisole and I would also take in the waist. Luckily, we spent some time really going into detail, the right techniques and tools needed to alter knit fabrics, and honestly, life-changing. Sometime in the middle of our working time, we learned how to hand sew some hems, which made for a really good break. The lunch I brought from home also made for a good break because I hate walking outside in the afternoon heat. And as I suspected, I had more time to spare, so I was just kind of counting down the hours till class was over. But all of this gave me a renewed excitement for this hobby of mine, so once I submitted my assessment, I made my way to Chinatown to pop by SMH Craft. I had gone to Spotlight the day before, but I just kind of left feeling disappointed by their selection.
Yet another unflattering camera angle. You've seen me from above, now you're seeing me from below. I just got home from the second day of the class and I got so excited and so motivated to continue with this hobby that I went shopping. So I went to People's Park Center and I went to SMH Crafts. They rebranded. I can't remember the original name, but I bought a bunch of things to add on. So let me just get it out of my bag. I brought home all of the samples of the seams that I did. I'm very proud of them considering it's my first time trying on all of these different seams, and I'm quite proud of them. I think they look pretty good. I mean, there are a few hems, different types of hems. These ones are hand stitched, so I'm quite excited to try. So I bought I'm so excited that I can't hold things. So I bought stretch twin needles. I've always struggled with altering things like t-shirts or like stretchy materials, because I always find that the sewing machine just eats them up. I realize now what my mistake was. I'm not using the right needle and I'm not using the right technique. So all of this is very eye-opening for me. I also bought more jersey needles. I think now I'm starting to have a clear understanding of like the different types of needles and their uses. I've always just kind of used the generic one and then played around with like tension, stitch length and all of that. So I'm very excited to try these. I also got new threader, but this one is just topping up the one that I broke. I got a thread cutter. This is so unnecessary, but it makes me feel so legit. So I'm very excited to use this. I also got quilting clips because I hate pins. Ow. And I've been using like the office clips, the one that kind of like you clip and you can kind of fold the little arms down. So I thought I might as well get clips that are made for this and don't leave like rust marks, because some of these clips have rust. I also got some thread of a few colors. I thought these colors were very cute. And then I got a bobbin case for all the loose bobbins. I love the word bobbin as well. It's so adorable. And I also got huge rolls of thread, just black and white. Because I use a lot of black and white, but I do intend to use these to like practice more. Like just for practice, maybe I'll use like one black, one white bobbin and the main thread spool, just to see what the stitch patterns are like and stuff. It's so fun. Like, sewing is not a new hobby for me. I learned sewing when I was like 12. I started hand sewing and then eventually I got a sewing machine for my birthday, and then I learned how to use a sewing machine, but no one ever taught me how to use it, and I just kind of figured it out on my own. And so for a long time I felt like my skills had stagnated and I just wasn't progressing, and I wasn't happy with the quality of things that I was producing either. But like this, pass. So I'm very motivated to keep like working on this, and I guess it's renewed my interest in an old hobby of mine that I used to love so much. So I'm quite excited to see what I'm gonna make next. Okay, he's yelling at me. Bye.
If I tell my teacher that I'm doing this, I wonder what he would say.